dictionary is not literature. But in the present world, a lot of people even tend to neglect facts. Life science is a branch of science that never fails to pique people's interest. Biotechnology, moreover, has a lot of myths and misconceptions attached to it by people and society. In today's program, we make a small effort to clear these misunderstandings. No great endeavor has ever been fruitful without the grace of God. I'd like to call upon Miss Archana to lead us into prayer and invoke God Almighty's blessings.
Am I audible?
Yes.
हर देश में तू हर वेश में तू तेरे नाम अनेक तू एक ही है हर देश में तू हर वेश में तू तेरे नाम अनेक तू एक ही है तेरे रंग भूमि यह विश्व भरा सब खेल में मेल में तू ही तू है सागर से उठा बादल बन के बादल से फूटा जल हो करके सागर से उठा बादल बन के बादल से फूटा जल हो करके फिर नहर बनी नदियाँ गहरी तेरे भिन्न प्रकार तू एक ही है भिन्न प्रकार तू एक ही है हर वेश में तू तेरे नाम अनेक तू एक ही है तेरे नाम अनेक तू एक ही है
Thank you, Archana, for the prayer. Our culture has always shed light on the importance of guests. Hence, I'd like to call upon Mr. Shrijesh PC, HOD, Department of Biotechnology, to extend a cordial welcome to the gathering.
Respected dignitaries, faculty members, and my dear students. A very good evening to one and all. Today, we all have gathered here to witness the inauguration ceremony of Industry Academia Interface Program. Industry instinctively echoes that graduating students are not employable. Taking a step in this direction of making graduates employable by enhancing their industry readiness, the Department of Biotechnology UG at St. Aloysius College is happy to start a new initiative called Industry Academia Interface Program. The first milestone towards this is the Industry Academia Interface Webinar Series. The purpose of the webinar series is to engage an industry expert to host a seminar on a broad spectrum about the expectations as well as the pedagogy that is required in order to bridge the gap between academia and the industry on various aspects. The webinar series has a wider reach and ability to share knowledge as well as inherent opportunities to reach out to many industry experts, allowing them to gain knowledge from the industry and gain access to industry's general requirement, which could be very useful during their campus recruitment. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have Mr. Roshan Shetty, the senior scientist from Thermofisher Scientific, Bangalore, as our resource person. We welcome you, sir. The institution is grateful for you for taking time from your busy schedule. I also would like to extend my warm welcome to Dr. John De Silva, a person of principle, the director of Xavier Block. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and agreeing to do the inauguration of Industry Academia Interface Program.
Thank you.
A warm welcome to Ms. Renita D'Souza, the Organizing Secretary, Ms. Niola, the Student Coordinator, and all other staff members from various departments. Finally, I extend my warm welcome to all our dear students. Wish you a happy learning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome and a cordial welcome to you too. The director, Dr. John Edward De Silva, is a very strong pillar of support for all the events that are conducted by the college and various departments. We are delighted to have our director with us on this auspicious occasion. I'd like to invite the director to present his views.
Good evening to all of you. Respected Mr. Roshan Shetty, the senior scientist from Bangalore, and head of the department, Mr. Srijesh, and our assistant professor of the department, Renita, and student coordinator, Niola, and all my dear fellow students of biotechnology. This is a very good move started by the department to have a relation between the two. It is not merely educative program in the classroom. It is to have an interface between the industry too, so that our students later will be well placed in the industries. So that's why this kind of program, and this is the initiative from the department. While I want to thank Mr. Srijesh, who is having taken the head of the departmentship in our biotechnology department, looking for new initiative every day and thinking in, with the innovative ideas to always interested in not only well-being of the department, at the same time, he wants the well-being of every student. So I want to thank the head of the department as well as the assistant professor in the department, Renita, and all the students who are part of this program. The Industry Academia Interface provides a platform for all the students to get experimental learning, which is essential, not merely learning the theory and thereafter going after the institution. You may find it difficult to face the future. But whereas this experimental learning will help you a lot. Industry interface is indeed the most critical differentiator for educational institutions worldwide. I'm happy that the department is organizing such a program. Collaboration between industry and academia is a key to catalyze innovation and the growth in technology. This will reduce the gap between the industry and academia, and our students will be ready to be absorbed by the industries. When you go to the industries for the experimental learning, you will learn a lot, not only about the industry. At the same time, you learn about the personal industry and personnel in the industry. At the same time, you will know the higher officials also. You will learn a lot from not only about the subject, to learn a lot from how do they manage the industry. Later, you can pursue the administrative jobs as well as other academic job in the same field. I wish all the success to the biotechnology department for taking such an innovative initiative in organizing such an innovative event. I'm officially extremely happy to inaugurate the Industry Academia Interface Program. It will be definitely a matter of greater joy for all of you to listen to a senior scientist like Mr. Roshan Shetty. Is from Thermofisher Scientific, Bangalore. So I also, on behalf of the college, welcome you, sir, for this program. I wish all the best to all our participants for this program. I request all our students being a part of this program to be there for the full program and get the total benefit out of it. Otherwise, any program what we organize, if you don't listen to the entire program and you be there and you don't reap the benefit of the program, the programs remain just as a program, but in no way it will be helpful for you. Therefore, my request for all of you students, please be there for the entire program and see in what way it can be beneficial to you and for others. So once again, there is a happy day for all of you, and once again, we're extremely happy for this inauguration. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words. We will keep your words in our minds and take our task very diligently. We have with us Mr. Roshan Shetty, who is a senior scientist, Thermofisher Scientific, Bangalore. He is the keynote speaker of today's program. I'd like to call upon Mrs. Renita D'Souza, the organizing secretary of today's program, to introduce Mr. Roshan Shetty to the gathering.
I'm very delighted to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Roshan Shetty, who is the alumnus of our college. He completed his master's in biotechnology from St. Aloysius College. He has a vast experience working in industry. He worked in Origin as junior scientist. Later, he moved to Novozymes and worked there as a research associate. Currently, he is working as a senior scientist in Thermofisher Scientific. He has expertise in antibody development, industrial enzyme production and their assays, drug discovery, oncology, and molecular biology. We are very enthused to have you among us.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a very remarkable introduction. We, as audience and witnesses to today's program, have a great opportunity to listen to Mr. Roshan Shetty.
Thank you so much.
Uh, Now the floor is open for Mr. Roshan Shetty for the presentation.
Thank you. So, shall I share my screen with you? You are ready with that?
Yeah, you can do the screen sharing.
Okay, thank you, Suresh.
You have the permission I have given. I have been made as a host.
Okay. Were you able to see the screen?
It's coming. Yeah, yes.
Can see, right?
Yes, we can see it. Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. First of all, thank you for that warm welcome. I'm able to audible, right? Suresh? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay.
You are.
Okay, fine. First of all, thank you all. Thank you so much for that wonderful welcome. For that, it's always been a pleasure talking and to the students, which when I graduated from the college, and the one St. Aloysius College, and it's always been great to come back to the college and talk to you students. And this will be one of the learning experiments from my end and for you to understand the industry aspects, and when you pass out from the college, how you able to get into the industry, what are the opportunities available you can able to go through, and this topic will help you understand all these aspects. So I will stick to what minimal aspects from the industry point of view, and then give some of the insights into the topics, and you could go over this and ask questions at the end, and we will answer most of them, which can be able to in a better way. And let's move on to the next slide. So I just give brief introduction for myself, as I always do when we go for the talk, and also just to understand my background, and I just to make sure that from where I've come from. So as you mentioned, I passed from St. Aloysius College, MSc Biotechnology. Previous to that, I did my undergraduation in the microbiology as a major in the same college. And then after completion, my first stint with Origin Discovery Technology, it is a part of Dr. Reddy's laboratory, where I worked for 5 years in the field of drug discovery. It was my main focus was involved oncology as a field of work, and then I was involved in developing enzymatic assays and screening part. That was my first work tenure, and then moved on to Novozymes. The company mainly works on industrial enzyme, which is applicable in the field of detergent and food and beverage industries. There was my next company. I worked for 4 years, and then from there I moved on to Thermofisher Scientific. And currently, I'm working in the field of antibody development, especially for industrial usage and research usage purpose, and as well as for diagnostic cases. So these coming to the point where working with the antibody development, recently what we have known that this pandemic situation and COVID-19 is being all around in the talk of the town. And we have been working in the same field, which is developing the RT-PCR testing kits in our site. So that's one of the part where Thermofisher is dealing with developing an RT-PCR kits. That's also, I was also a part of that project. So my hobbies are including I'm pretty much a nature lover, and I always try to spend time with the nature, and going back to home is always first priority. And then there you spend your time, and it keeps you motivating always. And science is of course the passion, and then you keep researching and doing every bit, and then when you try to get a time to do that. So as part of my research work, 2018, from the antibody development, we have been doing a project working on antibody development and increasing the sensitivity part of that by looking at the structural morphology. So one of the projects which I presented in one of the science symposium in United States of America, that was International Science Symposium. So this work is mainly related to
Main cells, drone cells, worker cells, brood cells, storage cells.
So these are the things which I have presented there, and that's one of the area which we have been working currently. So that's my family. My brother is working in Bangalore, and that's my wife. I got recently married. So that's my brief introduction, and then directly move on to the topic of discussion. Okay. So in today's topic, what I'm going to talk about mainly a biotechnology field, how we consider it as a biotechnology and what is beyond that, and then why we say it's very important in current situation, and some of the myths beyond that, and we talk about that, and the actual facts and how it is important to being a life science person and what way you can contribute to the society, and some of the opportunities available in the world and around for people who look for a job opportunities and industry level. And at the end, I will complete the talk with some life lessons, which we can, some of the words which can help you to, when you pass out of the college, how it can able to take you to your life journey. So coming to the topic, so it's biotechnology. So what is mainly involved in this subject is like it's just nothing but it's an application of technology on the field of a biological system or the living organism to develop a product. Any case, when you think about that, it is nothing but you need a technology away from the basic science. When you start learning in science or any subject in your college, and then after that, when you graduate and then we pass out and get into the industry, where all involved is your application of mind. So what do you say that the application of mind, and then how you divert your think process and move into the single direction and put your thoughts. So what are all the places we involve that you can get into this field? And there are vast areas across pharmaceutical industries and food industries, household care, and agriculture. So these are the areas, the main areas where you can get into that, and you can place your thoughts and minds, and that's where you can explore yourself into when you enter into the industry field. Okay, just move ahead. So, so how this is helping? Okay, I'll just minimize my screen. So put together all these topics, what we say as life science group. So life science group is a vast area, it's a subject, and under this umbrella, you get to see all these industries and which belongs to one group. So there we can see our efforts and what's happening in and around the life science field. So just coming to the next area, talking about the myths regarding the biotechnology and the topic, what we say, think about that. So one is, it is called an expensive course. Of course, it's an expensive course, and there is no doubt about it. But this definitely involves a lot of technology and instrumentation and industry applications and involved. That's why it is for. But it's always too important to understand what you are learning and what are the aspects which you are going to learn in the future, and how you're going to apply that into the area. So, and the second thought is higher skills are required for that. That's not true. Like, I mean, you start with the basic science and you get into the field, and then you go on studying whichever the field you are interested, and you can take it forward from there. And there's always a thought that when we say there is a lot of opportunities in this area, and there is a limitations of jobs availability, and then you need to spend a lot of time, and it is very costly, and don't have a job satisfaction and remuneration. These are the few things which can you hear about, and when you talk about the field, and that is, you tend to see like people talk about that. But actually speaking, a lot of things are not true. When we look around, when you see life science as a group hold together, you need to understand that there are a lot of researches going on around the world, and a lot of thoughts and minds are being working on that, and a lot of research which is part of this, which is really helpful to the mankind and to the living organism there, where all the application minds are goes into that. So that's not the case where you say that, okay, when people talk about, which is just hearing here from otherwise, from no any other roots or causes, but that's not the actual cases. So this is what we have to take off from our thoughts process, and then just focus on the system, and then we try to deliver and what you know in the best possible way. So for all this understanding, you need to know, like, one important thing is that you need to have a passion for science. So when you have that zeal or enthusiastic in your mind, and then you can go beyond any talk and go ahead and do what you want to do. So some of the facts, and let's come to the opportunities around. So now you are studying graduation or undergraduation students, and you need to focus on your path where you are going to look for when you pass out next. So the some of the main important courses available you can see here. So the top list is from biopharma industries, and then the food technology courses, and then biochemistry is one of the leading subject, which is you get job opportunities when you look for outside. And then biophysics is one of the area which is upcoming areas, and not a lot of companies are looking for in this area, which are on the highlights of the part. And then environmental science is one of the area which was not like a very important earlier. Some we look for some 5 to 10 years back, but at present these are the areas which are very important now at present scenario, and you tend to find a lot of research happening in this field. And agriculture is, of course, agricultural science is also upcoming booming area, and then you can look for your opportunities and try to build your career around that. So industrial biotechnology is also an area which involves a lot of work related to fermentations and and one of the vaccines development processes also comes under these industrial biotechnology part. So this is all the main courses, potential courses. After your graduation, you can look for that, and these courses are really have good opportunities and area to look for in future when you transform your career ahead. So apart from that, you can go into the academics line. You and hardcore science background students are science, have a zeal or a passion for research. You can take up a PhD or a doctoral study course, and then you go to an academics route and try to do an hardcore research, and there you publish research papers, and you can tend to look your career aspects in that way. And also one of the interesting point is that of late, from last 5 to 7 years, according to which I understood from my experience, people have taken up a lot of courses in the management side, in the MBA form, which is from the reputed institution, and move to a non-research field. So being a biotechnology, are you a life science person? What to do with an MBA course? You always think about that. But that's which is one area you can always look for that. If you are a person who are a techno-commercial experts and you know that how to communicate to the customers, and when you come to the field work, and then when you go to a, if you're thinking of going ahead and starting a product or a startup company, these MBA courses will have an add-on advantage, and that we can think about in that in line also. So there are a lot of plenty of factors and opportunities around you. You can look for that, and these are areas which is definitely have a more value in the coming areas in the field of life science, of course, and it definitely adds a lot of value to your study. So coming to the fit for purpose. What do you mean by fit for purpose? Fit for purpose is nothing but you do a right job at the right time. And that's what it means. Like you just plan your career at the moment when you know that where you're going to start your career and where you're going to end of that. So that's where you start your career, and then you plan accordingly, and then go ahead with what you want to do. So under this topic, there are mainly two areas. When you enter into the industry, you look for it is available, and then you look for that. There is a desk job and there is a bench work. It's nothing but a bench work. It's a core R&D. You work on bench and you enter into the lab and you do a basic research, and then you make a product and come out with that. And the desk work is nothing but you don't do a wet lab job. It's all around taking the computers, and then you working on the system, and then you do programming. You do all sorts of work related to the life science field, but not in the lab. So there are different areas. So under desk work, there are a lot of job opportunities available. So you can see, being a life science graduate, what you can look for. You can see the sales and marketing of your products, and application scientist is one of the area. The person who, if you have a product, and then you can go and market it after that. So our product's value, and then how do you explain to the customer? An application scientist will do that, and then he knows the vast knowledge about the product and any instrument or any product. That's where you comes in handy. So next is the business development role. It's one of the area which is our life science graduate don't really look for that, but actually it's there you can find a lot of opportunities. It actually overall you deal with the project. I mean, you enter into that area, you understand how it happens as a program aspect, as a project aspect, and you complete kind of a takeover and project in your side. So this is what a role which offers you. And then regulatory and quality assurance is, of course, it is there in any of the production plant. You can look for that. And then clinical data scientist is one area which is currently, which is very upcoming and a high value area. We can look for that. And this is you get to work on the system. You don't have to get into the lab. You get a lot of data from external client and other companies, and then you look for that, you analyze, and you deliver the product into your respective clients. So that's what you do that. And there is a project management, and then product management. Of course, it comes in the same line of business development. So these are the opportunity when you see around, away from the lab, you can look for that. So these and then coming to the bench work, this is where your actual R&D work you want to do. If you're a core life science graduate, or if you want to do a hardcore research in the lab, get into the industry, and there we look for these kind of jobs available. So starting with the research scientists in any of the industry, and associates in academics, and these JRF or SRF, all these things you must be knowing this, and how you get to do that one, these kind of roles. And then project assistance in an industry, you try to assist a project, a scientist, and then you carry out a task, and then you have a stipulated time period, then you finish your task and then submit a report. After that, you get a placement in the industry. That's what in the beginning it happens. Then operation scientist and quality control associate and production plant operations. All these jobs are involved the hardcore lab work and bench work. These are the areas you can look upon and see when you graduate out. And actually, so what I mean by this, like you always have to find a right job and at the right time, what is applicable for you and where your mind guides you. Like, I mean, just like you, someone says that, okay, there is some opportunity there and I would look for that. And then you won't regret after going there for certain miles and you can't come back there. So don't do that. When you plan your studies and you plan your mind in that direction, then where you want to go, and then you look for that direction, and then you get expert in that area, and then finally you do a job. It's always called a dream job, like, I mean, where you want to go for that. So that's what very important to find an area where you want to fit yourself. So these are the some of the job opportunities, and then I'll go to companies and the industries that offers you these kind of roles. So how it is, what are the industries available, and then how they are offering, and then where you can look for that. So there are, suppose if you, I had the notion that when I passed out there, when I look for a job, like, I mean, okay, I finished a science graduate and where will I look for that? I'll just enter into a drug discovery R&D industry, make some tablets or chemicals or something. That's what is in mind. So as well as I explored an opportunity, I went through that, and then there was several industries which are around. They not only do medicines or tablets or vaccine, there are plenty of other things they do, and then those things which are applicable, a life science graduate for any field, from you are passing out of biotechnology or basic science or anything, you get into this industry and then you explore yourself and start learning, and then you are a master of that. So that's where these industries are available. You can get into any of these and provide your inputs and then learn things and go about that. So the pharma industries are the major ones, which is there. The Biocon, of course, everybody knows, it's there in Bangalore. It's one of the ones leading biotechnology company. They do vast research in the area of clinical biotechnology and vaccine production and tablet and medicines and drug discovery. So Johnson Johnson and Sanofi, Aventis and Dr. Reddy's, you might have heard of these companies. They do come up with their medicines and then ointments and all that. They are all foreign companies. They are in India. They offer jobs for science graduate who are passing out with the basic biotechnology backgrounds you get in. So as I said, whenever you get into that, you just have to choose between the role which we are going to do, either a bench work in the lab or desk work, which we can take into the field work or any other area which you really want to grow. So all these companies which are pharma industry, they are all very important companies and very high value companies. They provide you job. And Serum Institute of India, of course, you know, and now it is in the upfront developed COVID vaccines, and they have huge facility in Pune, and then they do a lot of research on the field of vaccine, especially. They are the #1 companies in India who develop vaccines. Novartis and Novo Nordisk are the two companies. They work mainly on drug discovery and drug fields, and especially in the field of diabetes and cancer biology. So FMCG is like a fast-moving consumer goods. There are other companies. They make products which not mainly for in the field of drugs or in the field of medicine, but they make products it is for consumption, human consumption in the food, in the breweries, and in other detergent and other soft industry. So these are all the companies, Procter and Gamble, Nozymes, and ITC India, Unilever, Coca-Cola, Britannia, PepsiCo, all these an FMCG company. They're fast-moving consumer goods. They have their own R&Ds and their commercial lineup, and they provide goods into the customer, which can be uh, uh, day-to-day usage products. So these are the companies, and then there are service-oriented companies which are there. Like Thermofisher is one of the service-oriented company, which we are involved with that. And then Merck is there, a chemical company, the largest chemical company, and then GE Electronics and GE Healthcare, and there is a Danaher Group, and there is Sigma Aldrich. So these are all companies. They are the service companies. So these companies, they have a job role and they provide services to these pharma companies. So when you have a pharma company, they do drug discovery, they need resources or materials for their work, and then these companies provide the service for them. In any form of a service, providing enzymes or substrates and providing equipments and pipettes and everything. So these are the service companies. And then come to the healthcare industry, and then hospitals, all these major hospitals, and then Piramal and Reliance and Forty, they have their own research labs, and then they do a kind of in between industry kind of academic research, and then they have their own setup, and then you can try looking these areas of healthcare sectors, which will provide a job opportunity. So what I mean to say, like, I mean, IT. So why I mentioned IT here for a life science graduate? Of course, IT industries. We when you say that, we know that the IT industry don't have opportunity for a life science graduate, but that's not true actually. So IT industry, which require a life science graduate who are subject matter experts, which who can handle some of their data, some of their clinical data, and you can provide your input. So you can be a project manager in these companies, and then a set of jobs available there, and in a field or in a limited area, you can try to do, I mean, contribute your part in this IT industry. So it's nothing like that. You say that a life science graduate can only end up in a pharma company, and he can end up anywhere. So when you get out of your graduation, you see around and you find these companies around, and the only thing is that you have to you have to apply your right minds and what you want to do, and then you just go ahead with that and take your path along with that. That's where you have to think, like, so this is the right time for you yourself to understand, like, where I will plan my journey and where I'll go, and then take my life through. So that's why you start thinking and applying on that, or these are the opportunities available, and then you think about that. So I'll just give some of the courses. Uh, these are the gateway to enter into the industries. So these courses are available. I think your lecturers might know about some of them. You can go, these DBT courses are there. The biotechnology is now offering the courses. It's a short-term courses you can take in some of the medical lab industrial techniques and technologies, and that will have some added advantages to your pack of knowledge, and then that will help to get into the industry. And then IBAB is an Institute of Bioinformatics and Applied Biotechnology. It's there in Bangalore in Whitefield. They offer plenty of courses in industrial techniques, and then you can get a job there, and then they provide a gateway to the joining to the industry. So these are the Biocon Academy. The Biocon company has their own courses for the fresh graduates for coming out of the college and get into the industry. They will train you for 6 months of programs, and then under the program you learn all the techniques, industrial techniques, and what is the core area where you can apply your thoughts, and what is the research field. And then after that, they will get to the placement into the industry, and whichever the company they your preference and based on their system, how they're going to place it. So Biozine is also one of the company which is there in the Bangalore. They conduct some of the workshop. You can look for that and then can join these workshops. And so all these things are and add-on advantages right now, which can, when you graduate out, these things will help you to focus and plan your journey and then go ahead and where you want to do this end of your final thing. So that's what, and always is a matter of fact that how you place yourself and where you want to finally reach in your life by through the life science graduate. So that's how these programs are helping in that way. So this is all the opportunities available, and then whichever knowledge from the experience which I've got through all these years from my learnings that I've shared with you, and then that's where you can reach out all these places, and there are much more opportunities available around, and that's very important aspects. And then when you graduate out, look for opportunities and look for things around and see what is applicable to you. So after all that, when you see that, I just touch upon few topics, just 5 minutes on that, and then I'll end my talks and then see. So why we say life science. So in the beginning of my talk, I said it's a life science journey, because a life science graduate is always very, what you say, is a more fortunate enough to take that subject and you learn that aspect, because you know that what you are doing, and for which is kind of a service into the system. So, and then research in any field, if you take in any field of research or healthcare and application, any kind of a services, these are the people and the life science graduate people who have given a lot to the society and serve the nature. So ultimately, you just have to think about and then apply your thoughts and enjoy. When it comes to the job, you just have to do what you feels to do and what is right for you, and then just maintain it, and then keep exploring the new area, because there is no stop for learning and there is no stop for research which is happening now. So that's what is very important. And then coming to I mean, if you, there is nothing that you can say that end this topic without talking about the present situation, the hot topic around you. It's a COVID situation and the COVID-19, and then one of the, I think we just say it's a blessing in disguise, that because of this situation around, which has been happening in the last 2.5 years, we've been life science industry has come in forefront, and they have known each and aspects of the industries and healthcare technology, and how we are able to serve this people and around you because of this situation. This all that other technologies which is fall apart, and the life technology, which is life science industry, has come forward, and that's now it is serving into the mankind and the system. So that's what I want to say. So you just can't neglect in that field. You just, maybe you are subsidized to some extent, but because the research field, which involves a lot of passion and inputs and the efforts involved that, and the outcome will take a time to deliver the product. So that's why it goes steadily, slowly, but there is no out of the race. It's always there, but it's always there. It will be there, and you just have to have a time and mind to apply yourself and go ahead with that. So after all, what you, at the end of the day, you just have to work for happiness and just maintain your healthy life, because if you are in the life science field, we have to know at least some person better than any other person who's not in the field of life science, who can lead a better life. So I just end this talk by just telling it's always a balance at the end of the day and the end of your career is life balance, because you just can't take anything seriously. You just can't take anything neglected. You just have the right balance at the right time. It can take you any length and any distance, and you will profile in your life and you will explore in the new territory. So that's what I want to say here. And not without saying there is no life uh, without science, and there is no science without adding life to that. So that's it. And to keep uh, doing great what you're doing, and then look for an opportunity. And when you graduate out, and then you learn to understand uh, things around you and what's opportunity, and then apply your right mind and go forward, and that's where you will flourish yourself. So this is what the from my experience and my idea, what I can able to share with you. And if you have any doubts or any questions regarding this, you can reach out to me. I will drop my details with your lecture, and then anytime, whenever you drop me a mail, and then I can help you out regarding if you have any doubt on that. So that's what my topic for today. And I thank everyone for all these people and the students and the staff, and providing me this opportunity to come back to where I started my career and where I started. My Aloysius is always being a special for me, because it's happy to come back to college. And when I was talking to sages, I told that I want to be in person and deliver the speech, because that connection is always helpful to understand students' mind, and what they really you can see from directly interaction with the people, and then new talk. So, but anyway, I hope this has helped you to some extent to narrow your thoughts and focus on things, and then that's that much is I served something from my end. If it is helpful, it's great. And then you any doubt, you can always reach out to me, and you can find me in LinkedIn or anywhere, and just I will be happy to answer. And thank you for everybody, and thank you all. Thank you, principal, and thank you, you students, and have a great life ahead, and keep doing research, and keep thinking and explore your mind, and don't stop anywhere. Just keep research and keep looking for new opportunities, and keep and then most importantly, just enjoy being a science graduate. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshan. Thank you for inspiring our students with your great words and thinking. And actually, you have introduced a lots of concept for the students. Actually, they may not be knowing what exactly and what their job opportunities after completing their graduation. So you have given an overall picture for them. And especially as you mentioned, the COVID pandemic has actually proved the importance of life science, the role of biotechnology in the no human welfare, and actually that has proved. I mean, that has given a lots of importance for the life science and healthcare divisions. And Roshan, I have some suggestions for you. Maybe our students may not be actually knowing how an industry structure is and how it functions. Maybe they might have heard about some of the terminology like QA department, QC department, and they may not be actually knowing. Can you please shed some idea on that? And maybe especially from the Thermofisher Scientific point, what kind of skills they actually need to get a job role in your company?
Okay, so we do have QA as well as research assistant jobs available, but mainly that if you have an MSc graduate, it's good enough to qualify for these roles, quality assurance or quality. I mean, QC related jobs, and these are all mainly for the production plant. So we have a marketing or the production department. This QA and QC are coming to handy and very applicable in those areas, because when you have a product which passes all the guidelines, which will come to the usage of the people on the system and they available in the market, you need to have certain guidelines which has to pass quality assurance, and these are the people who cross check this product and give a go ahead, and then which has just before releasing into the market. So these QA jobs are very important, but only a company which is having a manufacturing sector or the production plant will have these QA jobs are very important. Otherwise, basic R&D research, which any pharma company which have a clinical R&D need to have a research associate or research scientist jobs are available in these are you do a basic research based on your available project in that particular company. So that's what these jobs are available. But MSc graduate, you pass out with good scores, which enough to get into these kind of roles. So you don't have to do a next postgrad, I mean the PhD or the doctoral course for that. But for the lab, I mentioned wet lab job, the bench work. These are the courses. I mean that these jobs are available in any company. So even in Thermofisher also offers these kind of roles for the research associate, as well as the QA related roles are available. But only thing is that, so when they offer these kind of a role, fresh graduates coming out of the college with the basic science, and so it's always good to learn some of the techniques. So I have mentioned these few courses in my slide. These courses with the Biocon or the other IBAB courses, if you do that courses, it's an added advantage because you already know some of the techniques before getting into the industry. So they will consider a first preference for that. These courses are more important. I would also suggest that if our college is providing and some of the technical courses into the students, to understand the aspect of the laboratory aspects and what are the small techniques which also helps, rather than along with the theoretical knowledge, some of the applied techniques, which is definitely helpful to get into the industry job role. So these things are helpful. I think I've answered your question.
Yes, surely, yes. Thank you. Students, if you have any queries, you can ask. This session is open for question and answers.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, either you can put it in the chat box. Chat box is available. You can put it in the chat box. If you have any specific questions, please do so. Or you can raise your hand and I can unmute you and you can talk. I think you have the permission to unmute yourself. I have given that. Yeah, I think there is one question from Neola.
Does Thermofisher offer internship for BSc student? That's the question.
Yes.
Yeah. Thermofisher, no. Thermofisher don't offer internship for BSc students. At least you should have a master degree or BE biotechnology. So because BE biotechnology, why is because BE biotechnology is more relevant to the industrial applications for the fermentation process, and a lot of these vaccines development process are involved. So you need some of the technical aspects, the instrumentation aspects needed to know. That's why they offer a BE biotechnology is important. For a BSc, they don't offer intensive courses. So that's the answer for that. So these internship, you can really try it in the biocon industry. They will definitely take even the BSc graduate students. And I said that course they offer the Biocon KJ Academy. So every 6 months, every year they have 2 batches. They'll take in students and they'll train for you. And then from there, I think they'll offer a job. I mean, definite job role also. They'll placement also. They will offer the biocons. So their programs are very good because we train those students in our in company. Another question, the internship opportunities lessened due to COVID conditions. What are your views regarding this? Not really. Internship opportunities are definitely there, not because of COVID conditions, it is reduced. COVID condition is, I mean, as a life science students, as a graduate and anybody and industry, what we work, we still work because that is our bread and butter. We go to office, we work, provided adequate measures and that. But internship open, they still offer internship. And I mean, same example I have to give. Biocon is still conducting the same internship for the students. Even during last 2020 also they did, and this year also they have a batch. So it is there. After MSc Biotechnology, we will be par with the biotechnology engineering students. Of course, you are par with the engineering students. There is no doubt about that. So the knowledge you gain in your academics, what you learn in your graduation, it is just it's a key. I would say it's a gateway to enter into the industry. And then any biotechnology engineering students or an MSc Biotechnology, it's good enough to get. So you just have to know that, as I said earlier, you just have to have a apply mindset where you are going and where you want to take your journey of the life and the path. That's more important. So both are equally opportunity, and there is no ups and downs. I mean, who is better, who is less. So there's nothing like that. Both have equal opportunity. Only thing is that after you get into the industry, there is a completely different situation and then scenario. You have to start again from the basic. It's altogether a different setup, and from the scratch you have to start learning and every aspect, even starting from wearing the gloves and wearing the mask. So I would say that's a minute details. So education wise, there is no difference. MSc Biotech, engineering, all the same. Which firm offers internship for the BSc students? Yeah, I said Biocon will offer internship for BSc students. Even the Biogene company, one of there in the Bangalore, they also offer. And then IBAB, it's an institution. IBAB is an institution. It is there in Bangalore, Whitefield. They provide these industrial biotechnology technical courses. It's kind of an internship kind of a courses, and you can do for 6 months or even for 1 year, different courses available. And then after that, if you move into a proper industry, you can get into the industry by doing these courses. So they do provide a stipend along with that, these companies. So that's a code. And Novozymes used to offer these internship courses earlier, but now I'm not very sure. I can maybe check with them and get back to you. Are they doing it right now? Because they were doing before. Suggest you people can do one thing, and we can get to talk to if these companies can come to college, or maybe for the internship process, if they really look for a bright students, and they can take these students for their internship programs. So they do visit colleges some of the time. They used to do earlier. They have gone to the northern part of India, from Simla and Lucknow. They have taken students, and they have not tried in the south part, but I think we can get to do that with them. So that's they do. What's the industrial expectation in terms of practical knowledge from fresher students? Yeah, practical knowledge you need to have, but not like there's a mandatory you should be knowing everything. But of course, when you apply for a job, or when you go for an interview, they don't ask everything from their end, because of course, you may not be knowing everything, but only thing, a basic science, some of the techniques which you do it in a laboratory, and some of the basic aspects of the techniques are very important. You should be knowing, and after that, you know the principle behind that and why it is happening and what is the outcome of that. That's it. You don't have to know the head and tail of that. But the moment you get into the industry, you have a job, and then you, as I said, you start learning from the scratch. So it's always there. So your academic knowledge is there as for a basic foundation. From an industry perspective, everything is different. You just have to start from the beginning, and then all the techniques you apply, because there you ultimately you look for a result. Either it is positive or negative. Finally, you look for a result. And when you have a techniques, you should be learning everything of that. So you don't need to know that anything before getting to that, but you should have a basic knowledge of your some of the theoretical knowledge is very, very, very important. The last question I've seen here, I don't see any questions.
Yeah, I think maybe
Yeah, you
are
can,
done with the question.
if you have know any doubt, they can ask, I mean, you can have it with you, and maybe any other time you can reach out to me, or and one more thing I forgot to mention, and whenever I come down to Mangalore, I'll definitely visit Aloysius. That's in my list. So if the situations are clear enough and the COVID uh, uh, difficulties is not there, and then you can meet me personally, and then I'll try to answer some of the questions whenever I'm around there. So I can tell that because I wanted to meet all students, and it's been long since I've not come to Aloysius, so I'll do that. So that's one promise from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Roshan. Thank you
Yeah.
for being with us and guiding our students. The first day when I interacted with you regarding this Industry Academia interface program, you voluntarily accepted my invitation and offered that what actually the students require. You only suggested me the topic. You know, it require a real guideline about their future, how they need to prepare their future, especially if they are looking a job in industry or whether in academic area or in research area, how to prepare for it. So you exactly given an route map for them. A route map is being clearly given. Thank you, Roshan, for your wonderful words and the guiding my students in this regard.
Thank you so much.
Thank you from my part. Maybe over to Gahan.
I express my sincere gratitude on behalf of all the biotechnology students and the staff present here uh, to sir for guiding us through all these things. And yeah, a wise man once said, "A thankful heart always opens our eyes to a multitude of blessings that continually surround us." So I'd like to call upon Ms. Neola D'Souza, the student coordinator of today's program, to propose the vote of thanks.
A very good evening to everyone present here. It is a great honor to propose the vote of thanks to all who have helped us in making this seminar a resounding success. First of all, I would like to thank our chief guest and the keynote speaker, Mr. Roshan Shetty, for making an excellent presentation and making this seminar a very meaningful and interesting one. Thank you for helping us understand more about the life of a biotechnologist, for your guidance and advice. I'd like to express our deep gratitude to the Principal, Reverend Dr. Praveen Martis SJ, for his presence in this seminar. I also express my gratitude to Dr. John De Silva, our Director, for formally inaugurating Industry Academia Interface Program. I'd also like to thank our beloved HOD, Mr. Srijesh PC, for his guidance and moral support, and for making this seminar a grand success through his motivation and dedication. I'm happy to express my vote of thanks to Ms. Renita D'Souza, our organizing secretary. A big thanks to Archana for inviting God's presence among us, and for Gahan for hosting the event with such vigor. Finally, I thank the wonderful students of our department who have turned up in such great numbers. Thank you for your cooperation. Once again, I thank you all for your cordial cooperation. Have a nice day.
I request everyone to put on your video for the photos. So please, everyone, please come up with your photos so that we'll take some of the photos and we'll make it as a memorable one. And it is required for the record purpose also. I request everyone to put on your videos. If you don't mind, please put on your videos.
Hi, Renita. Nice to see you.
Renita. Yes, I request others also to put on their videos so that, yeah. Can everyone put on their videos? Please do it fast. Yeah. Niti, Harita. Yeah, everyone, please make it fast. Alison. Craig, yeah. Ashwita. Still, Niti. Ashwita, Ashwita ji. Yes. Can you please do the screen? Wait, I'll take a few more photos. Yes, everyone, please, once again, smile, please. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Roshan. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll
Thank you.
call you
See you
back.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
everyone. Yeah. Thank you, students. Bye.